Sometimes I like to pretend that I'm the drummer for Led Zeppelin.
G'day you cheeky dogs. Today we're going to be talking about the Bluey episode Neighbours.
Yeah, Neighbours!
And all of the Easter eggs, hidden details, pop culture references to music and TV shows as well. My review of this episode and of course how much I absolutely love villain bingo.
Ah, you've taken my whole front yard! Buckles have babies. This isn't fair, Bingo. Do you like it? Yeah, you do, baby Buckles.
Bingo!
Also, if you love bingo being a villain as well, don't forget to hit that like button down below, that subscribe button and that bell for notifications so you know whenever I release any other Bluey videos. And with that being said, let's just get into Neighbours.
I'll move right next to Mum.
There goes the neighborhood.
And my biggest thing in this is I want to talk about who is Bandit. Because this costume that he's wearing in this episode is so iconic and so many people tried to guess what it was, some people thinking maybe it was Axl Rose, but it is 1001% an homage to Guns N' Roses, specifically to their drummer though. Their drummer is Matt Sorum, and in 1993 he wore this exact same kind of iconic outfit. And considering we know how much Bandit loves metal, rock and roll and drums, it's not surprising that he would also want to dress up like a Guns N' Roses member.
Do you know of any bands looking for a drummer?
The other little fun sort of music detail as well with this episode is the fact that yes, it quite obviously sounds like 80s 90s sitcom type of music, because that's what this is all meant to be kind of a reference to.
Has anyone seen the couch cushions?
Has anyone seen the couch cushions?
Has anyone seen the couch cushions?
Even Geoff Bush, the head of music at Bluey, also talked about the fact that he specifically wanted it to sound like a 90s sitcom. Which of course then brings us into the TV references in this. For those of you who don't know what Neighbours is, it is one of the most iconic Australian soap operas that there ever was. Like Home and Away and Neighbours are basically on par with each other. So the fact that they called it Neighbours was definitely like a little homage to one of the most famous shows in Australia.
This episode of Bluey is called Neighbours.
Neighbours, everybody needs good neighbours.
Chainsaw it!
But I do love the fact that there was also a play on the idea of the tropes of neighbours in sort of like those soap operas and sitcoms, because the idea of an annoying neighbour is a incredibly common trope that dates all the way back to I Love Lucy. And of course in this one, the annoying neighbour is Bandit.
What is that noise?
Oh, that's my neighbor! Would you mind keeping the noise down?
I do also really like that zoom out animation they did of all the people walking in their actual street as well. It did make it feel a lot more like a sitcom as well.
Hi, neighbor!
Hi, neighbour. Welcome to Mulberry Street.
Now, as for the book references, that's where we actually get the name of this street, Mulberry Street. So this is not in any way a reference to the soap opera Neighbours, but is in fact a Dr. Seuss reference.
Dad, do you want to move into Mulberry Street?
Please say no.
And for those of you who don't know, the very first ever book that Dr. Seuss actually wrote under the name Dr. Seuss was called To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street. This book came out in 1937 and is probably a book that most people probably really don't know. But of course, Joe Brum loves to give homages to a lot of the classics and stories and things like that. So it's not surprising then that he decided to call this street Mulberry Street as an homage to Dr. Seuss. We also get another classic reference as well to the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar, with that being the book that like Chili and Bluey are talking about at their book club.
Let's start book club.
Yes, let's. So, did you think the caterpillar needed to eat quite that much?
As for our traditional Easter eggs though, we did have tennis balls and a really cute little long dog as well. We had 5 tennis balls in total that were being used as like parts of the gate posts all over their constructions out of the couch cushions into their houses.
Well, I'm glad I don't have a neighbour like that. Bingo! What?
And then the long dog, again, was a sort of blink and you'll miss it moment. It was an engraved, like, silver metal long dog on one of the books that you see when Bluey is pulling them out from the bookshelf. Now, there were some, of course, kind of funny, like, dog jokes and censorship of those dog jokes as well. What a surprise, Southeast Asia Disney. Now, the dog jokes were basically, of course, the little homages. They have a book cover that has, like, a dog bone and a dog on it.
What's all that noise?
Oh, it's my neighbor!
But the funniest one, of course, was Bandit literally acting like a crazy dog that a neighbor would have and barking, like, uncontrollably with rage.
Well, I don't know what he's doing? Will you please keep it down?
And this is exactly what was actually muted in the version that you see in Malaysia in Disney Southeast Asia. Apparently him acting like a crazed dog was too much. So I'm really curious, if you live in like any other country around the world, when you watch Neighbours, could you hear him barking? Yes or no? Let me know in that comment section down below.
I'll have to call you back.
There were some really cute little links as well to other episodes too. Like we hear Chili humming the intro song a few times.
Hi, neighbour.
And of course, Bandit in this rock outfit, we saw again of him like in the picture of it when they were in the episode Work earlier in the season. So I feel like this is an outfit that he likes to dress up in often.
Would you like to buy a drain pipe?
And then all the way in the future, in season 3 in the episode Tradies, Bingo says this.
Big Belt did one phone call where he yelled at someone about bricks.
Oh, okay.
He called them the word you said when the dishwasher broke.
Oh dear.
And it's almost like she was channeling Big Belt in this episode as well, because she said almost the exact same thing.
Yes, I need those bricks here in the morning. They better be here. One phone call where he yelled at someone about bricks.
So perhaps the timeline is a little bit like wibbly wobbly, and who knows when the episode Treaties kind of really actually happened. Overall though, the lesson I got from this was passive aggressiveness.
I'll try asking Bingo nicely. Hey!
But maybe not quite that abrupt.
Okay, I'll remove my penguins. Thank you, neighbour.
Of course, it's all about communication and how you should communicate with your neighbours, and you might not know what's going on with them all the time or why they do the things they do until you actually communicate with them and you find out, which is the lesson that we see Bluey learning throughout this episode.
I'm sorry. I just get so lonely sometimes. Thought chainsawing might cheer me up.
Oh, maybe you need some pets.
But also the major lesson of how to draw a line for your own boundaries and how to set those boundaries and make sure that other people know that you feel firm on those boundaries.
You destroyed her roof.
Yeah, nah, it was already like that.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Excuse me for a second, neighbour. It's time to put an end to this once and for all.
Overall though, I'd probably give this episode 3 out of 5 long dogs, to be honest. It's not one of my favorites. It does have a nice lesson, but I do feel like this is like the precursor to like Chili's like angry stare. It was just like this firm glare. So I don't love it quite as much, but it is just a really fun episode. So 3 out of 5 for me, but cheeky dogs. Let me know in that comment section down below, how many long dogs would you give this episode as well? What were your thoughts and feelings on it? And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and bell for notification, so you know whenever I release any other Bluey videos. But until my next video, I have Picture Cheeky Dogs out, a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye!
I love your new pets, neighbour.
Shush! Baby Buckles likes it quiet.
Oh, okay.